Hi, welcome to another edition of Larry's First Impression Beer Reviews. Today I have a special beer from Right Brain that I've been kind of anticipating a lot. One of the very few beers that I've actually called the store to say, "Do you have this stuff yet? Do you have this stuff yet? Do you have this stuff yet?" So my first exposure to it was just reading online about Right Brain, and they came across one of their beers that really intrigued me, and I found out that it got brewed recently, like in November, and I was almost ready to drive up to Traverse City and get this stuff, but I thought, well, I'll just wait and see if it gets down here where I don't have to make a 2 hour drive up. So this is from Traverse City, Right Brain Brewing Company, and it is called Mangalista Pig Porter. Well, what is a Mangalista Pig Porter? Let's start off, just break it right down. Mangalista is a special kind of hog or pig that is bred because it has a large fat to lean content and is very flavorful and coveted. Sort of the Colby beef, if you will, of pork. Now, what has that got to do with beer? Okay, so Right Brain, being the creative side of things, which is one of the reasons I really love their name, and it really ties into this beer as well as a lot of other beers that they brew. I guess just as a gag amongst the crew down there at the brewery, says, what if we were just to put like bones and a pig head in our beer? And they went and actually did it, and then it turned out so well that they entered it in the Great Beer Festival in Colorado in 2011. It came home with a gold medal for experimental beer. So I took the time after I heard that a little bit and watched a little video I have on there, and they actually show the smoked pig's head, eyeballs, teeth, skin, everything that's been smoked, and put it in a sock with a bunch of other bones and bits and pieces, and then drip it or just put it right down into the brew kettle and brewed it right with the beer. So that was where they had me hooked. I'm like, oh, I have to try some of this Mangalista Pig Porter. Hence this. I wouldn't say it was a journey, but I called the two places that I knew who might have it first. One of them is in Standale. No, excuse me. Yeah, Standale, Michigan, just outside Grand Rapids, called Siciliano's. Siciliano's has a fantastic selection of beers, and they get stuck early. If you want to find it, most times they'll get it before anybody else. Also, a little bit locally in Spring Lake, I was trying the Corner Market. They get a lot of stuff as well. It's kind of a hidden gem there here in West Michigan in the Spring Lake area. So, on the phone, calling them, hey, I'm looking for a specific beer from Right Brain called Mangalista Pig Porter. And a lot of the guys like, oh yeah, we know what you're talking about. It's not been released yet. Can you put me on a list? Can you call me back when you get this stuff on the shelf? So apparently they're just giving me lip service like, oh yeah, we'll take down your name and we'll call you. I never got a call, but I was persistent and found out just the other day that they had it. So boom, went and got some. So okay, so that's a big story about how I got the beer. So it's curious, and that's kind of like what their mantra or their logo is keep beer curious. It actually says keep it curious right there on the cap, along with the Right Brain logo. And let's give this a crack, give it a pour, let's see what it smells like, and finally let's see what flavors that the smoked Mangalista pig head and bone parts add to the porter. Well, Oh, that had a huge hiss. I don't know if you could have heard that on the cap. But again, I'll just show you the cap one more time. Traverse City Brewing Company, Ray Ring Brewing. Um, keep it curious. So, kind of goes along with their whole philosophy about drinking beer. So, porter, right? So, a darker beer that's maybe a little less APV than a stout. Maybe not quite as strong as a stout. So I guess, there's a lot of interpretations of, well, what's a stout, what's a porter. The one I like to use, whether it's right or wrong, is that all stouts are porters, but stouts are an amped up version of a porter. A little more darker, a little more robust, a little more alcohol content. So I don't know if this is a good yardstick, but I would say if this same beer was an elevated alcohol content of 9, 8, maybe 8 or 9 plus, then I would say, yeah, they should be calling this a stout. So, poured off, nice and dark. I don't know if it's black or not. The head has got a nice little head on that bad boy. Smells like a decent porter. It doesn't smell bacony or porky or whatever. So that comes out more in the flavor profile. So just for fun, I am going to garnish my stout with a piece of bacon. And maybe I'll just stick that bad boy in there, and maybe I'll start a trend. I don't know. So let's dive right in. Right brain, here's to keep it curious, and let's see what the Pig Porter has to offer. Don't be scared of this beer. Unless you're a vegan, you have no reason not to try this. Right off the top, it's just really, really smooth. Maybe a little bit salty. There's no overpowering flavors that jump out at you. I was hoping for maybe a little bit more smokiness, but it's definitely got a smoky, almost a bourbon-y kind of flavor. Maybe it's what you get when those barrels are charred. You get this one smoky flavor, but that is super smooth. But a lot like a normal porter. Well, that's kind of cool. Try that. If you get some of this stuff, fry yourself up a couple pieces of bacon, dip it, garnish it. Wow. I like that. So at 7%, it's not going to kill you. I'll probably drink this whole bottle. Yeah. So, hey, Sicilianos, here's to you for getting this bad boy in your shelves. Right Brain, congratulations on your gold medal winning. Even though it was back in 2011. Still counts. And here's Keep a Beer Curious. Cheers. Kind of an expensive experiment, but well worth it. I'm glad I got it.